Hi everyone, Ben Burgess here from Esri UK. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can digitize features on a map using ArcGIS Pro. Now this video is the second half to a previous video I recorded on how to georeference a image or a PDF of a map. And so if you missed this video and you want to catch up on that, head to the description and the link for that video should be there. So here I have a map that I have georeferenced. It's a historical map of Sheffield. And the second half to this workflow is that I would like to digitize some of these features on the map. So for this, I want to have a look at digitizing some of the old historical reservoirs and dams across reservoir that don't exist today. So to do that, we want to create a new feature class for our dams. So to do that, I'm going to head into the catalog pane, and here I have my database, which is it's already expanded, but if I open that, then we have our file geodatabase for this project. And if I right click on it, we can go to new, and then we can choose feature class. I'm going to call this something like historical dams, and we'll leave the alias blank. And you can see that the type of feature that we're storing here is a polygon. And we can click through here, field. I might add a field. Let's add a field here called name. So we might want to add information on the name of the historical dam. And because that will be a name, we're going to use text. I can go next. For the spatial reference, I'm going to keep it the same as the map frame, which is the WGS 1984. And tolerance, we'll keep that as default. Same for the resolution. And that all looks good to me as well. So I'm going to hit finish. You see that we now have a feature class layer for historical dams added to our contents pane. Now to go about adding these features and drawing these dams in, I'm going to head into the edit ribbon here, and I'm going to click create. So this will allow us to create features, and it will bring up this pane here. Now we want to create features for this feature class, so I'm going to click that, and you'll see that we've now been given the option to have loads of different tools for drawing. So we can have this one here, which is a polygon. This is an autocomplete polygon, which will automatically snap a polygon that you're drawing to an existing one as long as it's touching its vertices. We have right angle polygons, circle, square, freehand, and actually I think for this I'll probably try and use the freehand, but I'm not sure how accurate it would be. So let's take a look. So first I'm going to start by tracing this dam here. So we're going to go around. And you'll see that it's slowly adding it on. Trying to keep my hand steady. And I think that's good. So I'm going to double click. And there we go. You can see that we've now added a polygon feature for this historical dam. And so I'm going to go ahead, and again I'm going to skip the video forwards for sort of digitizing the rest of these features. Okay, so as you can see, I've now digitized all of the dams and reservoirs on the historical map. And to end this editing session, I want to save my edits and to save my features that I've created. So I'm going to head over to the top left here in the edit ribbon and click Save Edits. And this will save all of our work. And you really want to make sure you do that. It's probably a good idea to do that quite frequently if you're making a lot of features as well, so you don't accidentally lose any. So there we have it. If I head into the contents pane and right click on my historicals maps layer and open up the attribute table, you can see that we have a table for each of the features that we've just created in each of the dams. Currently, our name field is full of null, so we want to add some names to this. So at the minute I have this feature selected, and you can see it's this one here in the table, highlighted in blue. I'm just going to turn it off for a minute. I can see that that's called Ralph's Dam. So I'm going to double click in the field here, and I'm going to call that Ralph's Dam. and then I'm going to go into the map, choose my select tool, and say that I want to select this one next, and it's called Godfrey Dam, and you can see it's highlighted it in the table, so I know which one it is, and I'm going to hit Godfrey Dam. And then I'm going to do the opposite this time. I'm going to click a row in my field, and you'll see that it's then highlighted the feature that I've got selected in my attribute table. So I turn that off. I can see that's called Old Great Dam. So again, I can double click and call this Old Great Dam. And then I can go through and give each of these names, which I'm not going to do now, but show you the sort of thing you could then do with that to sort of give your map a bit more context. I'm just going to turn off the historical map for now. I'm going to clear my selection. I'm going to right click on the historical dams layer, and then we can choose label, and we can go about trying to label some of these dams with those names. So if I hit label, you'll see that at the minute they're just given some numbers. And to have a look at why that might be, I can then right click on the layer again, and this time I can open up labeling properties. Now we have our labeling properties pane open up on the right hand side here. Now at the minute it is defining our labels by object ID. So that is this field in our attribute table here, which is given a unique number for each of these objects or these features. But we want to label our features by name instead. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to remove it. And then you can see we have our name field under this fields option. And I'm going to double click that. And so now we have that feature.name string put in. Now if I hit apply, you can see that we've now labeled our dams, our digitized dams, with their names across Sheffield. So there we go. That's really the basics of how you can georeference and then go on to digitize a map, in this case a historical map, using ArcGIS Pro.